this evening's other honorees, congratulations, and frankly, well deserved. Thank you for the important and meaningful work that you do, and while I was familiar with most of your work before tonight, nothing could compare to the focus, the determination, the energy I feel from each of you, especially as we all bear witness to you standing in elegance and the power of your strength. Now to Ms. Foundation, thank you for this truly special honor. It's funny because as a young girl, I would come home and I'd settle in after a day of school. I'd pull up my TV tray with dinner and I would turn on my evening ritual of Jeopardy. And I would glance at the coffee table where I would see an array of things. It could be the cat's collar, my homework, some mail that had just been brought in, and some magazines. The magazines said Ms. on them. And I remember them vividly because the pictures were different. There was a diversity that I hadn't seen as often, both of color and of age, and the names were different. There were congresswomen, there were astronauts, and the topics were different. From mothering to being a working mom, to heavier topics such as domestic violence, the poverty line, unearthing its roots, where it comes from, and matters of equity. And now when I say different in describing this Ms. magazine on the coffee table of our home in Cloverdale, I mean different from the covers of the magazines I would see at the grocery store checkout. And I was too young at the time to know what most of it meant, but I also knew that to my mom, to my dear mom, who I'm honored to have here with me tonight, I knew that the significance of these magazines was important. I mean, it wasn't a one-off. She had a subscription. And having these pages in our home, it signaled to me that there was just so much more than the dolled up covers and those images that you would see on the grocery store covers. It signaled to me that substance mattered. The presence of Ms. Magazine was more than a tool that I inherently learned from. It was an invitation to pay very close attention to the fact that change is just one action away. And these tenets have fueled Ms. Foundation's work for the last 50 years. Because of this foundation, so many of our youth have been instilled with self-worth and limitless possibility, no matter their race, their gender, their class, sexual orientation, disability, or age. The collective work of this foundation in pursuit of a world where everyone, truly everyone, is valued. It's just nothing short of awe-inspiring. So when I reflect on the time in my life when I was young, the imprints that were etched in my mind, I can now connect the dots in a much better way to understand how I became a young feminist and evolved into a grown activist. Ms. was formative in that cocooning. It piqued my curiosity, and it became the chrysalis for the woman that I would become and that I am today. I am a woman who remains inspired and driven by this organization and by those around me. You know, repetition is recognition, as they say. And the narrative on repeat that surrounded me allowed me to recognize that part of my greater value and purpose in life was to advocate for those who felt unheard, to stand up to injustice, and to be not afraid of saying what you know is true and what is just and what is right. So whether your inspiration comes from a magazine on your coffee table from your childhood, or an article that you read yesterday, an experience that you had today, maybe tonight even, or a moment that you will just walk right into tomorrow, I suppose the point is, it's just never too late to start. You can be the visionary of your own life. You can charter a path in which what you repeat in your daily acts of service, in kindness, in advocacy, in grace, and in fairness, that those become the very things that are recognized by the next wave of women, both young and old, who will also choose this moment to join the movement and make our vision for an equitable world reality. Because while, as my dear friend Glow often reminds me, there is still so much work to be done. And let's be clear, I, as all of you in this room know, that she will continue to do that vital work while wearing her black leather pants and signature glasses. She's also always reminded me that it's the community that we create in doing that work. It's this sisterhood, it's this togetherness. That's the joy in it as well. Work doesn't have to be hard work, and it doesn't feel like hard work when we do it together. So I am so proud this evening to stand with such visionaries, and even prouder to stand shoulder to shoulder with this community. Thank you all so much.